Hello and welcome to Moonlit Magic.
This is your essential moon ritual guide. Together we're learning about basic astrology. We are flipping oracle cards in an exclusive spread I created just for this series.
You have a choice. You can either ignite this inner flame in a controlled way, harness this power and get rid of that junk, or you can go back to whatever you were doing before you got here.
So we can align with the energetic rhythms of the moon together. And last but not least, fire activation meditation.
With how to handle this lunar phase, and I'm pulling out a brand new deck. Do I know all my strengths and am I using them? This is a brand new deck that I just got and I really like it because it's different and it encourages self-awareness. So how to handle this lunar phase. We all have our superpowers, but it's up to us to uncover them. When we live and lead with our strengths, we are able to show up in the zone of genius. This inspires others to do the same. Today's soul action, or this action for the moon, okay, ask yourself, how can I use one of my soul's gifts today to contribute to this open and ready world? And that is such all these words, literally buzzwords, superpowers, that's so Aries. You know, live and lead, strengths, in the zone, inspiration, contributing to the world. Those are also Aries. So trust yourself. Trust what you know you are good at, or what you are ready to put the energy into, and focus there, because that's what's most important for you to recognize right now. This week's exclusive giveaway, our Handmade Visions roller from 2K's Eclectic Oasis. This is going to be perfect for your moon rituals going forward, intention setting. Enter our brand new giveaway for this week for the new moon in Aries. Comment below why or where you clicked this video, and you're going to get a ticket into our raffle giveaway. But wait, if you share this video and then you comment that below that you shared this, you will get an extra ticket. So you can get 2 tickets instead of 1 just by sharing this. No matter what, you're gonna have to comment so that we can count it. Thank you so much for participating, and we appreciate you sharing this. Even if you're not entering the giveaway, it is so helpful to boost this energy out to other people, and I am so grateful. Welcome to Emerald's Intuitive Studio. We are here for the new moon in Aries on April 11th, 2021. All the energy is always moving and shifting. So right now, we're talking about the moon specifically, and a new moon is going to be a great time to commit to personal goals and to express positive energies of taking action, okay, in a brand new way, in a brand new phase of your life. The moon is this inner subconscious energy, and we're going to start a whole new cycle. And what that means is the Pisces new moon cycle of last month is now coming to a close. And so if you're not really aware of what your intentions were, or if you experienced any shifts last month, you want to revisit that to see where you were and what the energy was at that time. There is a meditation that we use, water imagery, to sort of wash away and dissolve the anxiety that from where we were carrying it in our bodies. And now we are kind of expected to take action to create changes that we were accessing. So we access these emotional changes. Teaching you a little bit about this is so that you understand what you're feeling in the air right now. Why do you even want a moon ritual? Why would you even want to lean into this? Because this energy is going on around you, whether you like it or not. And how do you want to deal with it, and how do you want to experience it? Do you want to harness it, or do you want to be kind of taken by surprise? So the deep emotional part of you is going to be stimulated. You're going to be stimulated on the surface to action as well. And then even your heart and your mind are going to be direct. You can be more confident, but also you have a likelihood, if you're not aware of what you're doing, if you're not paying attention, Aries can make you feel very impulsive as well. So there are different ways that you can take this. I don't want to get too deep into it because it can get very complicated and confusing. As we shift into Taurus season, what happens is the sun is in this kind of like impulsive, fiery energy, and it's going to shift in on April 19th into like a more receptive, earthy, relaxed, and slow energy. It's much more indulgent, and after like having this stimulation and this drive to action is wonderful, of course, but who can sustain that forever? So very soon we're going to be moving into a brand new energy, and so that's why I do these and I continue to do these, a weekly energy as well, because there's so much shifting all the time. I want to help you understand and access what you're feeling and realize we're all feeling it. It's real, and you see it come into play here. Okay, so that is why we're here. If you are interested in studying astrology a little bit further for yourself, I recommend these astrology reading cards. There is a link to every single thing that we use in this reading below. So if you are interested in any of these cards, if any of them jump out to you that you'd love to use at home, please click down below. Make sure you download the journal, as we're going to move into the cards now, and you want to be able to take notes and see the spread. Again, I'm actually using it right now. I designed this and I gave it to my friend at 2K's Eclectic Oasis, and she put this into like a beautiful format so we could add it into the journal so you could take notes right there and do this along with me. And again, I'm looking at it because it's so much more useful than even my own notes that I had for this. It was all typed out, and she put together this beautiful journal spread. So go and download that right now before we get into this energy, and you'll know exactly what is coming. So this is number one in the journal spread, now that you're looking at that. And then number two is where we will find satisfaction. The fire elemental. So I was starting to deal for this, and this thing came out flying out. I put this entire thing together before this, okay? So the meditation kind of is a process. I feel the energy. It takes me days or a week to kind of come up with the concepts and feel through it, and this is exactly what the meditation is about. It's a fire meditation, and this says, I ignite the fire within me that connects me to the divine. And that is such an Aries. Aries is one of the fire signs, choosing to ignite that fire within us. Expansiveness. Eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. So creating expansiveness in this process, and it blows me away, honestly, just how aligned all this energy is. Okay. Oops. And here we go. This one is brand new. I have not used this one yet. This is called the Affirmator's Morning Mantras. Okay, so these cards don't have to be about anything that you're not comfortable with. It's just about clarity for yourself, okay, and creating a ritual. I have compassion for grumps. It's not easy to have a bad day, and even harder to be a permanent asshole. So, that's what we're talking about so much. If you watch the weekly energy, we have the devil. We're talking about the shadow and purging that, the shadow self. And that may very well be based on the opinions of others that we've kind of been holding as our own opinions of ourselves, and they don't match who we are. It's not necessary to hold that. Just because someone else doesn't understand what we see and what we're doing does not mean that we're not doing the right things. So while it's wonderful and very purposeful to observe and respect constructive criticism, if it does not feel constructive or it does not feel true to your aligned purpose, then you need to let it roll off and you need to stay true to you. Okay, so right here, we are now talking about something to set our intentions towards for this lunar phase. So celebrating life, and this comes up often for us, and I think this has come up in most of the moon rituals for us. I celebrate every day by honoring and respecting all life on Mother Earth. So set our intentions towards celebrating life. This is the type of experience that we want to have with our everyday. Energetic clearing. Again, I think this just came up in the weekly. During crisis, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. Okay, so we have to let go of certain things to be able to feel this freedom, right? Look at, she even has fire in her hands. Look at that. She's got fire in her hands, in her own hands. She's choosing to wield that fire. You guys, wait until you see some of this imagery that I am using for the meditation, because when you see this, remember this image when at the end of the meditation, right here, because that's there. It's there. The right thing to do isn't always the easy thing to do, but it's easier to know I did it than to hate that I didn't. Adds reminder to day planner. Forgive them and forgive myself. And that's what we're doing. That's the shadow, the devil. That's what it is. It's both the chaos around us and the chaos within us. And forgiveness does not mean doubling down or allowing. Forgiveness means moving forward and letting go. Forgiveness means ready to do something different with our energy. You know, focus our energy on what we want. That's what forgiveness is for. We have to forgive ourselves. You may have to atone in the world, okay? Absolutely. I'm not saying just because you choose this, you don't have consequences for things you may have done in the past. You may not be able to fix some of the things that you've done, but you absolutely can choose to start to realign yourself with your own truth, and then you will be more honest with everyone and everything around you, because you cannot go back when it starts to unfold. It's too painful. It's too painful to go back. You can't survive in the old spaces that used to suck the life out of you. Once you're aware, it's much more painful to exist there anymore. The numbness is gone, and either you leave because you can no longer tolerate it, or you numb further. So something to be aware of. This is spot number 4. Number 4, gratitude. I am grateful for everyone and everything in my life and the lessons each brings. So even if you have toxicity, you have had these relationships that are not good for you, learn the lessons from them. That's why they're here. That's why if you find yourself in similar relationships with similar toxic people again and again, this is why. Don't blame. Sometimes people harm us, but our healing is our own responsibility. And so if we continue to walk into, on purpose, knowingly and consciously, into circumstances that we know are not going to turn out well for us, then who can we blame but ourselves for still being in this pattern, okay, still stuck in the cycle. So be aware that you can be grateful even for the hard things that happen. Here we go, loss. Sometimes you learn that true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the ego's. Okay, we're learning a lesson of true love. Okay, passionate invitation. It's Aries. All of that is passionate. Absolutely. And we're talking about the ego when we are in relationship, and we just talked about this at the Libra full moon. So go back and check that out if you're not quite understanding or ready to move into the fire stuff yet. We were doing a breathing meditation where we were expanding our lungs and holding space. So if you're not quite sure on what we were talking about there, it's really important to pay attention to the balance and the harmony between yourself and others. This is a really important time where we can take risks if we know what we truly want long term. We may cut things off, but it's not going to be that old impulsive way that's harmful to us and others. It's going to be productive, and it's going to be cutting away of the things that do not fit us and align, but we can still be grateful and kind. I refuse to deprive myself of the tiny, splurgy pleasures that spark my daily joy. I'm a lot more fun when I'm not a hollow, gray-eyed husk of resentment. It's accessing this little bit of harmony, the spark of harmony within. You have to know what it feels like for you so you can cut away the things that don't fit. Okay? Be grateful for what you have learned along the way, and you will see the real shift happening. I promise you that. So we are going to talk, this is spot number 5 on your journal page. A lesson we may face. At day's end to rest, I find peace in nature and rest my body and mind in order to connect to spirit. So this is what's coming, okay? We get to rest after this, right? We get to relax. We have done this work of clearing that heavy stuff, okay? We have been doing so much work. Taurus season is this beautiful time to rest. So use this energy right now, and then you can be satisfied in what you've put forward. You can you've done everything that you can, and you lay it all down and you let go anything that is out of your control. Right action. I love that because we're talking about Aries. Let everything that wants to go, and let everything that wants to come. So let it, right? Maybe a little bit less impulsivity. We don't have to, this is where we're finding the balance between jumping into the world, jumping out in, like, I feel this, let me go handle it. That's like a fight, a reaction, where we're unkind to people who are who we love, who we're close to, because we sort of take it out on them and they're around us more than anyone else. But where we start to realize we need to hold space between ourselves and our reactions, and that's what we learned on the full moon in Libra. So go back and revisit that, because that's what we're doing. And then we clear some space. We have more expansiveness. I can spend my day feeling daunted, or I can spend it climbing over the thing that's daunting me. If I'm going to spend, it might as well be a good investment. Okay? So we're talking about spending energy, expending our energy. Let the opportunity to deal with these lessons open up to you in the right time, in the right moment, right? A resource to pay attention to, our solar plexus chakra. I take actions daily that awaken my personal power, and every single one of those words is an Aries word. Actions awaken power. Okay, that's what we're doing, and we are accessing this. We're holding this in our gut, okay? And this is where we will awaken that inner flame. So this is where you're going to focus when we do the meditation, where you're kind of focusing between there and your heart, and that's what you're going to start to feel come alive. We're choosing to ignite this flame, light it, and see what is hiding in there. You know, when you are at a bonfire and there's a lot of sparking in the wood, there's things hiding in there. There's pockets of moisture and there's resin. It takes us by surprise. But what we're going to do today, I'm so excited, choose to light our own flame. We are going to make this fire rage, and we are going to spark on purpose. We're going to shoot these embers out of us, okay? Whatever this junk is, we're going to get rid of it on purpose. we're going to do this in a controlled way. You're going to be in the wide open expansiveness of yourself. And you're going to release this stuff that you're hanging on to that has nothing to do with you. You're clearing that so you can celebrate. Okay, so if you can't do that meditation right now, set a reminder, because we're going to choose to do that. And then what happens is all that stuff sparks off and we come down to this beautiful this hot smoldering fire that just stays. These hot coals that burn long lasting. They don't go out with a little bit of wind blowing like a candle does. We are going to bring our power into our center and understand that it's there all the time. We don't have to be afraid of exploding. We don't have to suppress it and put it out completely. We get to appreciate ourselves and move into this place where we know that our potential is right there. It's right there in our gut. And when something takes control and we're ready for it, we know exactly what to do. And again, this is the resource we should be paying attention to, a solar plexus chakra and companionship. Giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. So know exactly why we are giving something that, who actually we're giving our attention to. It has to make sure it feels right in your gut feeling. Oh my goodness. I keep my fire lit and I blaze through all my shit. So day after day of it, I can enjoy my evening sit. And I know that's cute and hilarious and it rhymes, but oh my God, like, are you serious? The bonfire, first of all, we're literally talking about burning our shit, you guys. That's what we're talking about. And we're talking about resting. So your resources here. Your resources in your gut. Just know for yourself what's right. That's all you have to do. Know what your strengths are and own it. Lean into it. Because that's your opportunity here right now. All right, so this is number 7 in your journal pages, and this is the effective way to clear our energy. And of course, we're already focusing on that. We already know that we are clearing energy. Balance. So again, revisit the Libra full moon. You do these meditations more than once. Do these meditations over and over until the stuff clears. Once is not enough, maybe. But if you can sit in silence with the imagery or find your own way to process this, that's wonderful. But if you need to revisit these meditations, do not be afraid to do that. No one is expecting you, especially not me, to clear this in a day. It takes rituals. I did this for myself for 2 years before I ever did, open myself up to doing this for others, okay? I understand and embrace the opposing forces in life and bring about balance. So in the weekly energy, April 4th to 10th, I believe, we actually did a yin-yang meditation exactly about that, opposing forces. And that's what we have, the masculine, feminine energies that push into action that we have with Aries, more of a soft, receptive energy with Taurus that we're moving into soon. So soon we may rest, okay? But right now, we have to stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. So we're not in Taurus season yet. We still have a good, solid little push of energy. Soon that we will trust that nothing more will come than can be handled in each moment. And it may feel overwhelming, okay? But sometimes that's because we have to let things go, because we absolutely cannot hold everything. So if you committed to give someone your best and you have not, then yeah, it's your responsibility to do that. But if you've committed to give someone your best and you have, and things don't work out, it's okay. It is okay. But fix yourself first so you can recognize what is other people and what's me. My greatest weapon against a bad day is my smile, and I suppose a bunch of free money, but I won't get greedy. So it's a choice. It's a choice right now to be in this moment, not to paint on a smile, but find something to invest your energy in. It can be a little thing that brings you a little bit of joy and harmony, peace. Feel that and let that expand, okay? Let that be what's burning in you. Have a new foundation and new expectations. All right, this is going to be our final message from the cosmos. Release. I release that which does not serve my higher purpose with gratitude and love. And there's gratitude right there. We're releasing. We already talked. Look at right there. Perfect alignment with that. What kind of energy do they project on you? What kind of energy do you project on others? Be very aware of that in every relationship, and they will be so much more satisfying. Divine flow. Eventually, one sublime desire takes precedence over all others, to follow the Tao, the divine flow at all costs. And that's really what we're just talking about, not getting ahead of ourselves. Don't get too far ahead of ourselves, because we need to be right here, right now. Don't jump ahead of where we're supposed to be. Learn the lessons, because if you try to jump ahead, I'm not saying don't rest, but if you try to jump ahead and go, oh, you know, I'm good with it, I'm satisfied, but you haven't done your part, your best to clear what's throwing off these sparks, you're gonna experience them again. So deal with it. Who are you hiding from? Is it yourself or other people? Because no one has the power to tell you that you are something that is wrong. I'm not saying that you haven't done anything wrong. You may very well have. And you have to, again, atonement, like owning up the consequences, the outcome, that is different. You take self-responsibility for every damn thing over the top. No more are you a victim of anybody, even if they did you wrong. You know why? Because you have the power to learn your lesson from that, to become this strong, confident, powerful warrior who can, from experience, say, I healed from this. And the reason I'm here, I healed from this. I'm telling you now, me personally, me here, Elise, I healed from doing this. And that is why I bring it to you. So thank you for being here, because it's powerful to me that this is amplifying out to the world. My very last message. I'm the only me I've got, so I'm going to speak lovingly to myself from sun up to sun up. That means extra compliments, hold the critical anxiety spirals. Okay? Anything, it doesn't matter where you've been. If you truly have brought yourself into this place where you feel like you are ready to take responsibility and become not someone new, but the best version of yourself, the highest version of you. I totally forgot to show you this at one point too. The bottom decks here, because these are the ones that I use every moon cycle, or have been anyway. The conscious spirit is this one here that's at the top that you can see, Day Zen, gratitude, and then divine abundance are the ones that I've been using every week. This is what's happening, okay? So as I'm receiving it, and I choose these decks, every deck brings a different message. So you see the power of really just making small, everyday aligned choices. Oh, what feels right, what feels wrong. You will make mistakes, and that's okay. But the best thing that you can do right now is sit with yourself long enough to recognize what you want going forward and what you do not. Reframe yourself and your life to satisfaction rather than a success that depends on the external, either people paying attention to you or lifting you up with affirmations, paying you money. Be satisfied with your own effort. Project that outward. And then feel how this changes you. Thank you so much for joining me for the astrology lesson and the oracle card energy. Thank you again so much for downloading our exclusive journal with that brand new journal spread that you can take notes or deal your own cards out. And now we are going to get into this fire meditation that we've been talking about. And if you enjoyed this, would you share this with a friend? Now you have a choice. You can either sit with me and ignite this inner flame in a controlled way, harness this power and get rid of that junk, or you can go back to whatever you were doing before you got here.
If you're still with me, place your hands somewhere between your sacral chakra, the creativity center in your body, and your heart, and decide where you feel yourself flickering. Where do you feel it in your body right now? Soft, so you may have to be very quiet, very gentle to notice. You're afraid that if you move, it might go out. But what we're going to choose to do is hold this little flame right where it is, small as it may be, and understand the potential that it has. So now we're going to choose to add a little bit of accelerant to that flame. And we're going to start to burn a little bit hotter. This is where our flicker becomes a flame. We have to choose to add more fuel to our fire, to get brighter and bigger and hotter. This can be a little bit scary because we don't know what's going to come of this fire. Is it going to warm our hearth or burn our house down? But you remember that we came here on purpose, that everything is under control and that you're safe. So let that fire get bigger. Now, this is where your flame becomes an inferno. Your potential here is limitless. Will you keep this fire right contained where it belongs and let go of what is burning away? Or will you let this fire get out of control once again? You don't have to do that. Right now, I want you to choose to access those little emotional pockets that used to explode. And I want you to start to let them go. Hidden things deep inside of us that come up out of nowhere when we get triggered by something seemingly harmless and we overreact. Right now, we're going to find those things wherever they reside inside of us, and we're going to release them on purpose. Let them snap, let them pop, let them crack, and let them shoot out of you wherever they need to go. You know what to expect. You know that you need to prepare for this, to give yourself enough space that nothing else catches on fire while you clear and purge this energy from inside of you. Release it now back into the sky where it belongs. Dust in the wind. Let it go. It is no longer a part of you. It is a part of the universe again where it belongs. Alchemize from your body. And here from this place, you can allow your smolder. The fire gets low and hot when all the excess accelerant is gone. We sit here with that strong flame that does not go out with a little bit of bad weather. This is the flame that starts forest fires. Dangerous, powerful, but you harness it. You are confident. You hold this flame inside of you powerfully. You trust it because you trust yourself. And then you're able to take that flame and carry it out into the world and show off the magnificence of your potential. When you hold this power in your hands, you know it. You're aware that you were born to activate, that you were born to hold your potential and to bring it confidently forward and to project that into the world, to share that with others. And if you felt a shift here with this, can you imagine what's going to happen when you share that flame with those around you? Softly at first, so they can experience their flicker and choose in their own time to do this as well. If you'd appreciate some silent smoldering time to anchor this in, right here, right now, for you to sit and just relax into it. You have done well. Rest in that satisfaction. Thank you so much for joining us for the new moon in Aries. We will see you back in 2 weeks for your essential moon ritual guide for the full moon in Scorpio and an all new giveaway from 2K's Eclectic Oasis.